The Navy base cafeteria was always spotless, not because of rules or inspections, but because of one man, Ethan Cole. Every morning before the first recruits arrived, he'd be there, pushing his mop through the hallways, humming quietly, the faint rhythm echoing through the cold steel corridors. His uniform wasn't made of medals or badges, just simple green overalls that read "Maintenance Crew." Most officers barely noticed him, except to nod politely as they passed. To them, he was just the janitor. But behind his calm eyes and quiet smile was a story nobody had ever asked about. Ethan was a single father to a little girl named Lily, 7 years old, full of sunshine and curiosity. She loved visiting the base after school, waiting in the corner of the cafeteria while her father worked, drawing pictures of heroes in uniform. She often told him, "Daddy, when I grow up, I'll be a hero like them." Ethan would smile and answer, "You already are, sweetheart. You're my hero." One day, the base was preparing for a high-level inspection. Admiral Shepard, a decorated Navy SEAL with more medals than anyone could count, was visiting. The entire unit was buzzing. Soldiers rehearsed drills, officers polished boots, and everyone moved faster. But Ethan remained calm. He cleaned the same floors with the same care, humming the same tune. That morning, as he polished the officers' dining table, he noticed something odd. The old brass plaque honoring fallen soldiers had been left dusty. Without hesitation, he took out a cloth and carefully wiped each engraved name. When Admiral Shepard entered, he caught Ethan mid-wipe. "Now that's dedication," Shepard said with a chuckle. "Didn't know janitors salute plaques too." Ethan smiled politely. "Everyone deserves respect, sir. Especially those who can't stand here anymore." Shepard paused, intrigued. There was something steady in the man's voice. Not just discipline, but familiarity with loss. "What's your name, son?" he asked. "Ethan Cole, sir." Shepard grinned. "Cole, huh? Every man on this base has a call sign. What's yours?" Ethan chuckled quietly, still wiping the plaque. "Lone Eagle, sir." The cafeteria went silent. Even the officers nearby looked up. It was supposed to be a joke, a light moment before breakfast, but Shepard felt something shift in the air. He studied Ethan's face, calm, serious, eyes sharp like a man who'd seen storms most people couldn't imagine. "Lone Eagle?" Shepard repeated. "That's an interesting call sign for a janitor." Ethan gave a small nod. "It used to be a lot more fitting, sir." Before the Admiral could ask, Lily ran up and tugged Ethan's sleeve. "Daddy, can we go home now?" The Admiral's eyes softened, understanding a little more of the man before him. He let it go and walked off, but the words "Lone Eagle" stuck in his mind. That night, Shepard couldn't shake the feeling. He had his assistant pull Ethan's personnel file. What he found made him sit back in silence. Ethan Cole, former U.S. Air Force combat rescue pilot, call-signed Lone Eagle, credited with saving 38 soldiers in Afghanistan after his helicopter was shot down. Declared missing in action for 22 days before he was rescued. He had retired quietly after losing his wife to illness and taking full custody of his daughter. Since then, he'd taken the janitor job at the base to stay close to the only family he had left, the military. The next morning, Shepard went back to the cafeteria. Ethan was there, as always, mopping the same floor. The Admiral stood silently for a moment, then said, "Why didn't you tell anyone who you were?" Ethan shrugged. "I didn't think it mattered." The mission ended. "My duty now is raising her." He nodded toward Lily, who was drawing airplanes at the corner table. "Heroes don't retire, sir. They just find new ways to serve." Shepard nodded slowly. "Maybe, but sometimes heroes need to be seen again." The Admiral walked out, but the story of Lone Eagle was about to spread through the entire base. By the next week, everyone on base knew the story. The janitor, the quiet man they'd walked past every day, had once been a legend in the sky. Soldiers who used to ignore him now stood straighter when he walked by. But Ethan didn't change. He kept cleaning, kept smiling, kept showing up early and leaving late. When Shepard invited him to join a ceremony for veterans, Ethan refused politely. "I've had enough medals, sir. They don't help a little girl sleep at night." But fate had other plans. One morning, chaos hit the base. A fire alarm blared, smoke rising from the maintenance wing. Inside, a small explosion had trapped 2 cadets in a storage room. While everyone scrambled, Ethan didn't hesitate. Without waiting for orders, he grabbed an extinguisher and ran straight into the smoke. The fire grew thick and violent, but he moved fast, breaking through debris, guiding the cadets out one by one, coughing through the haze. When the roof started to give, he used his own body to shield one of the injured boys until rescue teams arrived. Outside, gasping for air, his shirt half burned, Ethan brushed off help. "They're safe." "That's what matters," he said between coughs. Admiral Shepard arrived seconds later. Seeing Ethan standing there covered in ash, holding the hand of a scared young cadet, he felt a surge of pride. "You just can't stop being a hero, can you, Lone Eagle?" Ethan smiled weakly. "Force of habit, sir." The story spread beyond the base, local news, then national. The janitor who saved soldiers became a symbol of humility and courage. When reporters tried to interview him, Ethan refused the spotlight. "I'm no hero," he said. "I just did what anyone should do." But the world disagreed. Within weeks, the military reinstated him as an honorary officer. Shepard personally awarded him a medal for bravery in front of the same cafeteria where it all began. Soldiers, officers, and even recruits stood at attention as Ethan and Lily walked up the stage together. Shepard handed the medal to Lily and said, "Your father isn't just a janitor or a pilot. He's what every hero should be, humble, brave, and devoted." Tears glistened in Lily's eyes as she pinned the medal on her father. "I told you you're a hero, Daddy." Ethan smiled, whispering, "Maybe, but you're the reason I fly, kiddo." The base erupted in applause. The once-forgotten janitor had reminded everyone what true strength looked like, not in medals, ranks, or titles, but in the courage to keep serving quietly when no one is watching. Months later, Ethan returned to his quiet duties. He still cleaned the same halls, still helped the same people, but now, every time a young recruit passed by, they'd nod respectfully and whisper his name, Lone Eagle. And every day, as he left the base holding Lily's hand, she'd look up at him and say, "Do you miss flying, Daddy?" He'd smile softly. "Not anymore, sweetheart. My wings are right here." As the camera faded out, the narrator's voice echoed. "Sometimes heroes don't wear capes or command battalions. Sometimes they just hold a mop and a heart full of courage."